The Samsung Galaxy S25 FE is quickly becoming one of the most talked about phones of the year. The Fan Edition, FE series, has always been popular because it offers high-end features at a lower price. But as with any budget-friendly phone, there are always a few compromises. And for the S25 FE, the biggest question right now is which processor it will use. Usually, Samsung uses its own Exynos chips in the Fan Edition phones to help keep the cost down. That way, they can offer good specs without making the price too high. For the Galaxy S25 FE, Samsung reportedly started making a special version of its Exynos 2400 chip, called the Exynos 2400E, just for this model. This makes sense because it's cheaper and helps Samsung make more money from its own chip making. Business, however, recent reports suggest Samsung might have a backup plan. If they can't make enough Exynos 2400E chips, they might turn to MediaTek for help. The chip they're considering is the Dimensity 9400. Here's where it gets interesting. The Dimensity 9400 isn't just a backup. It's actually a better chip than the Exynos 2400E. It offers stronger performance and is more energy efficient. So if Samsung decides to use the Dimensity 9400 in the Galaxy S25 FE, the phone might end up performing even better than expected. Still, Samsung would prefer to use its own Exynos 2400E chip. That's the main plan because it saves money and makes things simpler for them. But if there are delays or problems making enough of those chips for both the Galaxy S25 FE and the upcoming Galaxy Z Flip FE, they might have to switch to the Dimensity 9400. The idea of getting a better chip in a mid-range Galaxy phone is exciting for a lot of people. But for Samsung, it's a bit tricky. Using the MediaTek chip could make the phone better, but it would also lower the company's profits, since they wouldn't be using their own chips. Plus, Samsung makes money from producing its own processors, so this change could affect their earnings from that business. Even with these issues, there's no sign that Samsung plans to raise the price of the Galaxy S25 FE, even if it ends up using the Dimensity 9400. That would be a big win for customers, getting a faster, more powerful phone without paying extra. But for Samsung, it could be a small setback, since they prefer to rely on their own parts whenever possible. At this point, Samsung hasn't officially announced anything about the Galaxy S25 FE's release date, but rumors suggest it will arrive later this year, probably in the fall. If they follow their usual pattern, we could see the phone launch around the same time as other big tech announcements. No matter which chip Samsung chooses, one thing's for sure, they're aiming to give buyers great value for their money. And if the worst-case scenario actually leads to a better processor inside the phone, it could be one of those rare moments when things not going according to plan works out better for customers. Samsung fans and tech lovers everywhere are watching closely to see what happens. The Galaxy S25 FE might be just another good Fan Edition phone, or it could surprise everyone and become one of the most powerful mid-range phones of the year. Either way, it's shaping up to be an exciting launch. Stay tuned.